What's up, guys? Weather Beats, aka Leather Sheets, aka Feather Beats, aka whatever you think my name is. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a pretty chunky, fat, filthy, gritty 808 in Serum, as well as FL Studio. So, yeah, let's get right into it. We're going to go new from template, minimal, empty, just so we're starting from scratch here. All right, so let's go. I'm going to open two serums here. I'm going to have the first one on the sound that I've already created. I use the sound in a whole lot of my songs. I really like it. And yeah, so I hope you guys like it too. Let's check it out and see what it's all about first. Yeah, so super crunchy, super fat. If you have a subwoofer, you'll be able to hear that low end. So let's get straight into it. In our initial serum, we're going to go over here to the wavetables. Click over 3 times to our pure sine wave. Make sure our wavetable position is at 0. We're also going to turn random phase down to 0 so we don't have any phasing issues with the sub frequencies in the sound. Let's see, next we're going to go to octave, put that down 1 octave, and if you're following along, whenever I'm hitting a note here, I'm hitting it on E3 on the MIDI. So it's pretty low. Sorry, let me switch back over here. Okay, here we go. So, alright, cool. So not much going on right now. So we're going to go to LFO1, and we're going to create kind of like a kick or a thud or a little pitch shift at the beginning of this sound. I would not put this right on the edge. I would ease it off just a little bit so we get a little less click and pop at the beginning of that pitch bend. Let's bring this down. You can do this to taste. Another important aspect here is that we click envelope mode, so that way when we do trigger the note, it's not re-looping over and over again here. It's just going one time through and staying right here at the end. So we're going to left click and drag LFO1 to our coarse pitch. And also very important, once you do that, if you're on Windows, you have to hit Shift Alt and left click, and that'll change that coarse pitch. So when it reaches the bottom here, it'll be on the note that we triggered, so E3. Okay, cool. So we got a little something going on. It's not much right now. It'll get better though. So noise oscillator next. We're going to leave that on AC hum 1. Feel free to put that on whatever you would like. A bunch of these different noise oscillators sound really cool with this sound. So noise, we're going to put that on about 7%. And next we're going to put our filter on. So when you put the filter on, make sure you deactivate oscillator A and activate the noise oscillator. And another big step here, we're going to make sure that we change this filter from the low pass it is right now to, let's go high 24, and bring the cutoff down to about, let's go about 200. That's just making sure this noise oscillator is going into this filter and cutting out any low end frequencies that might come from this noise oscillator, because we want that space to be dominated by this sine wave. All right, cool. So we're looking good right now. Let's head over into effects, and I'm going to bring up this other one for reference here. So first thing is distortion. We're going with diode 1. You can really use any one you want. Some of them sound pretty sweet. Just feel free to play around with it and figure it out. So we're going to put this drive up to about 40. Mix is going to be at about halfway. Let's see here. Alright, next we're going to go to our flanger. We're going to put the rate down to 0. Depth a little under half, probably about 40. Frequency right in the middle. Phase is going to be at about 90. And mix halfway. Next we're going to throw a phaser up there, and these two together are kind of just widening out some of that fat in, adding a little bit of harmonics in there. Phaser rate to 0. Depth halfway, frequency a little over 12 o'clock. Let's see, feed, we're going to put that about halfway, and the phase, we're going to go about 120 here. and then mix a little bit under half as well. All right, this is going to be the bulk of our sound right here. We're going to activate the compressor. Make sure you select a multiband here. It's going to give you a lot of crunch. Threshold, we're going to turn that about to -14-ish. Compression ratio 2 to 1. Attack to about, let's go 0.8, 0.6, because we want that compression to be acting as soon as we trigger that note. Release, we're going to put that up to about halfway. Gain, I'm only going to go about 2 dB, because we're going to add some post-processing that's going to add a bit of gain as well. So let's see what it sounds like, what we got right now. Okay, yeah, sounding pretty cool. We're getting there. So let's see, the next thing you want to do is we're going to put this into a mixer channel. So just grab your window right here and then hit Control L on Windows to throw it into a mixer channel. And now we're going to get into a little bit of post-processing. So the first thing we're going to add up here is going to be Patcher. And within Patcher, we're going to add a parametric EQ2 on the top and parametric EQ2 on the bottom. And then lastly, we're going to add a fruity wave shaper, which should be under distortion. All right. And then link everything together. So we're going to be splitting our sub-frequencies from the rest of our frequencies in this sound. So click on the parametric EQ on the top here, go to frequency band 1, right click order steep 8, and we're going to bring this down to about, let's go 140. We're going to go 140. Now we're going to do the inverse with this lower. So grab the frequency band 7, right click, order steep 8. We're going to bring this down to 140. All right. And then, hold on, give me 1 second here. Sorry, guys. All right, cool. And then we're going to go to our wave shaper. And this is going to add some harmonic density to the subwoofer frequencies in our sound. So you can mess with this and see what you prefer. You probably want it on the upwards curve here, but yeah, all right, yeah, it's getting pretty fat. I like that. Yeah, so just feel free to mess around with that. Secondly, this is pretty optional. We're going to add a saturation knob. This plugin is completely free from SoftTube saturation, and it's super, super good on, I use it on a ton of drums, so snares, kicks, hi-hats, toms, and a bunch of other stuff. It just adds a lot of saturation and harmonic density to your sounds. So I'm going to put this up to about 1.5. Another super important factor here is that we put this knob down to keep low, so those sub frequencies aren't going to be affected by this saturation, because we don't want that. This is just adding some more grittiness, some more griminess, some more crunch to the top end. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's turn this down a little bit. All right, and then the next thing we're going to want to do, if you have it, if you don't, it's fine. I think it sounds pretty good as is. We're going to go to open this little sausage fattener, going to add some more compression in there. We're not going to mess with the color because that adds distortion from my understanding, and we already have a ton of that. So we're just going to turn this up a little bit, somewhere around 17, 18, and let's see. Oh yeah, let's turn it down a little. Okay, yeah, sounding really good right now. So the last two things I would say is if you don't have a multi-band stereo imager, I would probably suggest turning this knob all the way to merge, which puts the entire sound in mono, so you don't have any phasing issues. If you do have a multi-band imager, then just make sure those sub frequencies are in mono. You can go crazy with the rest of the frequencies. Lastly, we're going to add a fruity parametric EQ2 on the end. And this is really good if you're using this bass, you know, in mixing a song where This bass just has so much mid-range in it that it's kind of nice to scoop some of that out sometimes. And this is up to taste. I'm not doing this like perfectly. If I were putting this in a song, I would probably move it around a little bit, make the bands a little bit tighter, and try to make it fit better. But let's just hear the difference with just scooping out some of these mids. Yeah, okay, so listen to that. Yeah, so I like it right there. And let's see, the last thing that I wanted to say that I forgot to do is if you want to, you can go to this oscillator right here, turn the attack up a little bit so it gets rid of a little less of the click at the beginning of that bass sound. Turn down, if you want to, you can turn down the sustain a little bit, so that's going to give it more of like a 808 kind of feel. You'll see. And then if you put up the release a little bit, so when you let go of the note, it still has a second to kind of waver off. Yeah, and you can turn these to whatever you think is fit, but anyway, that's about all I got for today. Just wanted to hit you guys up with this nice little 808 tutorial. Like I said, I use this one a lot. It's super, super wide on the low end, fills out the mix really well, adds that nice crunchy top to it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking around. If you got something out of the video, leave a comment, drop a like, follow, subscribe, hit the notification, all that fun stuff. But anyway, until next time, man, just remember, sound design is all about having fun and getting wild and turning knobs until you find something that, you know, you kind of like, and you learn from there, and just stay with it, stick through it, keep being yourself, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.